Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin' HTV. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to my living room slash kitchen dining area. It's good to be with you this evening where it's nice and cozy. Hope everyone's getting along just well. You are tuning in to the pre-show of Rockin' HTV, and this is where everyone gets settled in and you get comfortable, you grab a beverage, and we sit down and have a chat. And tonight we are talking about the T600 comparison. We're using PEM, GearBox, and Ertl trucks. A nuts and bolts down and dirty comparison of what I love to use and what I recommend you use. So, getting a few people on now. Thank you for watching. And if you're wondering, I've got some sort of weird tea my wife bought in my cup this evening. I'm going to refresh my screen here so I can be a part of the conversation over here. There we are. All right. So welcome. Give me a shout out if you are tuning in here. I see a few people. See Carson for sure. Hello Carson, good evening. You're getting geared up for lots of work. Oh, and here's what we're also going to do during the pre-show here. While we wait for people to arrive, I got this package in the mail today, and we're going to open it. Now you might be thinking, why would I open up a package here on the show? Well, excuse me, for those of you, hey Carson, good evening. For those of you that are a member of my No Secrets Lab, you'll know that I am hiring guys to do work that I would normally do. Some just want to give it a go, see how it works. Others are looking to gain some income. And so since this is new, and we're just trying it. It may not work, it may work, who knows? But this is one of the projects that was done. And this project was done by our own Dustin Montgomery, a member of the No Secrets Lab. He may even make an appearance here. And so he did this project for me. And he shipped it, arrived today, so I am excited. Now, just so you know, because this is so new and I got to protect my brand, I've asked guys to send me these models when they're done with them, just so I can see what kind of work they did. Many have been keeping me up to date via pictures and stuff and Facebook private messages and then text messages and things like that. But it's good to just see the physical product and see how guys are doing. Some want that validation just to know, just for comfort and to build their confidence, and that is wonderful. So I'm glad to provide that for them. And so this was done ordered back in the spring, and here it is. And oh my gosh, guys, this looks amazing. This looks really cool. So if you're just tuning in, this project came in, and one of the freelancers that's a part of the Rockin' H No Secrets Lab finished this. So here it is. And this is it. Check this baby out. He's been posting photos of this, I think, some places. And this is it. This is a 359 owned by a harvest company here in Kansas. And thank you, Jason. Buddy of mine, he's an area rep for Kloss. And he gives me handouts once in a while. But this was this was done. There he is now. There's Dustin. Yeah, harvest company here in Kansas. And so this is a Christmas present for somebody, I guess. The only thing we couldn't get done was the decal on the battery box. As you can see, that's a very small spot to put a decal, and decals don't very well show up on battery boxes anyway. And I call this a freaking home run. So Dustin, it showed up, and it looks great. About the only thing that happened in shipping was lost a light, but that's not a big deal because I've got them. I'll stick that on there, marry it up to a trailer, and tell the guy he needs to pay us. And that'll be great. So, awesome work, Dustin. So, if that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you tune in the Rockin' H No Secrets Lab, because I'm coming up with projects left and right, things that I don't want to do, and I'm sure willing to spread the love. But while we're here tonight, we're going to dissect some T600s. And part of the reason is, especially beginner guys, they'll say, well, what trucks do I use? What don't I use? Blah, blah, blah. And so I thought, well, let's just put 3 of them out there and show you what they're all about so you know what to shop for. And then I'll give you a few pointers and things that I would do if I were starting out, different things like that. So we got a few more minutes here with the holidays coming up. What's on your Christmas list for die-cast? Has anyone made a long hood? The tank? Oh, right. Thank you. Yeah. Dustin reminded me of something that I have to do on this truck, and I got to write it down. We got to put a wet kit tank behind the cab. All right, I need to. Yeah. Has anyone made a long hood 359? Zach, Dustin is your man. Go talk to him. He's even got two tutorials that he shot, and I posted in on my YouTube channel at rockinhtv.com, showing you how he does it. Or I'm sure he'll be happy to do one for you, Zach. So get after that. He's your guy. So you could DIY it or hire Dustin. He'll treat you fair. So Christmas list. What's on your Christmas list? Will you show the herd bumper? Oh, yeah. Here's your question here as we soak up a little bit of time here as we get started. What's on your die-cast Christmas list? And then also, Carson wants to see the herd bumper. Thanks for the love. You're welcome. You earned it, man. You earned it. Carson wants to see the herd bumper. There you go. This is something Dustin created for me. There's not. I'm sorry, Carson did. I'm sorry, screwing up my names and stuff. This truck is one of 3. Well, actually one of 4, but one of 3 9400s going to Canada to a custom harvesting crew. Hi, Matt. Welcome, welcome. So you could see. And I almost shot an assembly video on how to mount this last night, but I was kind of in a hurry and being selfish. I thought, nope, I'm just going to stick them on and get this done. But you could see that. That is spot on. Look at that. And they're simple to mount. You take out this screw right here, and then you loosen this one up. You can lift that cab. Lift that cab up. And then this just fits over 2 holes that are right underneath there. And it works great. MacDon header. Are you drawing one up, Jason, or are you going to buy one? They are for sale. Well, I don't know if they're for sale yet. And Jason, I think I need to get you some dimensions for a sweep plow. I call it an undercutter. That's what we call them here in my neck of the woods. Sweep plow, blade plow, whatever you want to call it. But an undercutter, that is on my to-do list. So we're going to get that done soon too. Okay, yeah, that's probably the same guy. I don't know if it's a secret or not. But to keep in the good graces of people I know, I'm not going to say anything. All right. Whoops, had a phone call there. Whoop, my bad. Yeah, it turned out great, Carson. The herd bumpers, it's amazing. Yeah, we get that thin wall thing fixed, and then I can have them for sale in the shop, and then the files will also be for sale on my website too. So if you want to buy the actual files, they'll be for sale there too. Cool. Awesome. Okay. So we're talking about different projects coming up here, guys, so make sure you read those comments. Hi, Clint. Thank you for joining, and it is 8:30. So here we go, guys. We're just going to kick it off. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Rockin' HTV Session 8. Session 8. Can you believe that? 8 of them already. And tonight we are comparing T600s, Kenworth T600s, the PEM, the GearBox, and the Ertl. And I'm going to start from my least favorite to my favorite, and I'll show you why. And we're also going to take some of them a bit apart, not all the way apart, but partially apart, so you guys can see what it is I like to use and what I think you should use as a beginner, and then kind of evolving up, and give you kind of a basic idea on price and cost and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to turn the camera upside down so you guys can see the trucks a little bit better, and then we are going to move on, okay? So if you will take a short ride with me, here we go. Good evening, Tim. Thanks you for showing up. And there we go. Okay. Okay, so here are all three trucks, just a top view quick. In order of the ones I like is the Ertl, the PEM, and the GearBox. Now, all of these trucks they're not used, I'm sorry. This one is a new one. Thank you to Carson Bryan for picking that up for me and shipping it out here. This one came from Dustin Montgomery, and this one as well in a box, in a lot that I bought from him some time ago. And you can see this one is missing a air horn and both mirrors. This one is what it is. Okay. So let's talk about the Ertl first. Okay. The great thing about Ertl trucks, guys, is you can pick them up anywhere for pennies. That is the thing they got going for them. If you are new to die-cast, you can trick these out, do lots of stuff to them, and be out of no dollars, and it's a great way to learn. Okay? As I've often said, if you're starting out, your first models are going to stink, so why blow a bunch of money practicing? Okay? Mine did, so will yours, unless you have some gifts that you've been blessed with. You went high up to the mount, came down from the heavens, and were blessed with the skills to do die-cast well out of the gate. I'd suggest you go cheap and do lots of them. Okay, what these have going for them is, one, the number one thing is price. Two, they're very simple to work on. You can do about anything with them. What I do like about these is, let's say you want to put hand grabs. You can drill into this die cast real easy. You can bend up some straight pins and whatnot to make hand grabs. You can cut, this actually is a solid piece of die cast here. So you can cut that, sand that off, and there won't be a hole or anything underneath it. It'll be, if I recall, I've only done one of these and it's been a couple years now, but if I recall correctly, there was no hole underneath this windbreaker. It was just a piece of solid die cast. Just sand it off and have a flat top. It's nice. Okay. You can swap out these wheels for DCPs real simple. If you want a nicer looking wheel or rim on there, you can do that. And then you can paint your air horns and lights and stuff like that. You could even, if you had a pretty skilled touch, you could grind off this visor and then put an aftermarket one on if you chose to. Okay. Now, you can mount these on a DCP frame, Die-Cast Promotions frame. You can buy one and mount this on there, but it will be a grueling amount of work for you, and here's why. Let's take this apart. There are 3 rivets that hold the plastic in. 1, 2, 3. And hopefully all of you can drill better than I can, because as you can see, I made a mess of it. What a train wreck that was. I never seem to get those, I don't do those well anyway. Once in a while I get lucky. And if you're in real good fortune, you won't break them. Okay. So you have several pieces here. The bottom of the frame has your axle housings where your axles ride. Nothing fancy there. Your fuel tanks just pop off right here. Nothing fancy there. And then your exhaust, and then a rivet holds in your cab glass. Okay. Then your grill just pops off. You can see it's just held in there by this. It probably won't come out easy for me now, but it's held in there. You can take that out by plastic around this die-cast stub. That's it. Okay. Now you'll notice if you're going to put aftermarket exhaust on it, you have this big old slot here. You'll need to either cover that up with fat exhaust, or you can fill that in if you chose to. You could fill this in. Now, I mentioned you could mount this to a DCP frame. going to be a monumental amount of work depending on the type of tools you have, because here's what you got to do. These two pieces of die cast here, you got to cut these out. So you got to get in here with a Dremel or something and cut as low as you can. Cut this out, cut this stub off here. And then what I found works well is you kind of, if you have a Dremel, you can use the cutting blade and put a circular groove right here, and then it should mount on your DCP frame. It's going to take a little bit of practice to get that right. I've done a number of them. I don't recommend it. I would just simply reuse this part and then put your wheels back on it, call it a good day, find some sort of insert for your fifth wheel plate, or marry a DCP running gear underneath it. You could do that. The big thing these have going for them, especially if you're new to diecast, is they're cheap. You can practice a long time and not spend hardly any money. I mean, who cares if you ruin a $6 truck? Whoop-de-doo. These are great if you want to practice making this a day cab. Okay, so you could come in here and cut right along this edge and just cut that back clean off. Take your grinder and smooth this out, and then come back and practice making a day cab. Be a great practice truck for that. And you know, at the end of the day, if it's not one you wanted to keep, or maybe it didn't turn out great, give it to your best friend. You'll make him happy as hell because he got a gift from you that you made. Or give it to your nephew or your son or somebody. I mean, yeah, you took time to, you got to learn, number one, and then you got to make a gift for somebody you care about. I mean, it's win-win. You can't lose. And you didn't spend a lot of money doing it. Okay. Be thinking of questions on the Ertl, because I'm going to ask for them in a minute, okay? So get ready to fire up those keys and start typing up your questions for the Ertl T600. And there's another version of this too, just so you know. This is one of two versions of the Ertl T600. They're basically the same. They behave the same, okay? All of this is the same. This is very much the same. The difference is the type of sleeper, okay? That's the main difference, okay? Right. Let me see. If you're going to strip this, strips with the same types of strippers. If you watch my comparison video where I took 4 different kinds of strippers, it sounds kind of naughty, doesn't it? Paint strippers. The paint comes off of these really easy, so don't fret about that. You do not get nifty. You can take a magic marker maybe or some paint on a toothpick and do your headlights, turn signals and stuff like that, but pretty much no frills model. Ertl created these to be played with and destroyed. That's why Ertl makes these at $6, so you can give them to a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old. They just destroy them, and then you toss them out and get another one. That's their purpose in life. All right, questions on the Ertl. Hi, Joe Brown. Paul. Yeah, Paul. Gotcha. That's their function right here. Destroy them. Tim asks, can I take the sleeper off? Yes, you can. You can get yourself a Dremel or a bandsaw and cut it right here, and off it comes right there. And then you take a grinder or a Dremel cutoff wheel and you clean this off, or sander, and smooth this out. Okay, that's how you're going to do it, Tim. The sleep, and then you're going to have this big gap right in here to fill in with styrene or something. Okay, so this big gap in here is what you're going to have to fill to make a day cab. All right, great question. All right, that's the Ertl. Let me see. Okay, now we're going to move on to my second favorite. Great little model right here. Love this one. Oh shoot, and I forgot to drill this out. Doggone it, guys. I'm sorry about that. This is the, I thought I did both of them and I failed. All right. This is the PEM T600. Somebody, before I got it, already tricked some of this out, which is kind of nifty. You can see the decals and whatnot. A great little truck. I recommend, if you're going to buy one of these, and I don't recommend going through the effort it takes to put this on a DCP frame, and if I could take this apart, I would show you why. But nevertheless, let's, I'm getting distracted here by the comments. I'll try and stay focused for you. I ought to just run out there and just drill this out quick so you guys can see how it behaves underneath. I am so sorry I forgot to do that. You let me know if you want me to drill this out. I'm going to go on a few minutes, and if I don't see anyone make a comment saying drill it out, drill baby drill, I won't. But if you do, I will. Or you can give me a bunch of thumbs up. Hit that thumb button if you want me to drill this out and take it apart for you. Okay. I don't recommend going through the effort to put this on a DCP frame. I have been doing a couple of them, and I got to have more thumbs than that. I see Jason's into it. Swap these wheels out right here with DCP wheels or fancier wheels if you want, and reuse it, repaint it, chop it up, and do it. Okay, here comes the love. You guys are saying drill, baby, drill. All right. Do not leave or go to the bathroom. Go refill your coffee mug or whatever you're drinking. I'll be back in 3 minutes, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. There it is, Johnny. Okay, I got my mic back on. We are back in business. And then I need to put this back together quick. There we go. That came apart. Amazingly simple. Okay. I love these for a couple of reasons. One, a little more detail than the Ertl, and I'll show you that in a moment. And they do come apart real easy, and they look good with DCP wheels. They do. They really do. It is awesome. Okay, so 2 rivets hold this on, one here, and then this one just popped right out on its own. Okay, so they drill out really nice and simple. So the top part comes apart, and then the 5th wheel area comes apart, and then your wheels and all that are in the frame still. They have their own axle housing, unlike the Ertl. And there's these nifty fenders right here, which I kind of dig, that make, it's a nice feature because when it's married up to this, I've done a couple of these where I put them on DCP frames. They were Freightliners, and this just works so much better because you can see, well, you really can't see too well, but inside it's clean and neat, and you lose all that when you mount that to a DCP frame. Okay. Well, getting ahead of myself here. Let's put that back together quick. Okay, to take this apart, obviously you just figured that out. This comes apart in 2 pieces, which makes it nice, because now you can paint this a different color. You can do some two-tone action. Your fenders right here pop right off. Whoop, there they go. Or your steps, I'm sorry, steps in the chrome piece. That pops right off with not a lot of effort. That one's being stubborn, but, well, anyway, just know that they come off fairly easy, and then you can strip this and paint it if you choose to. And then, of course, you have your tanks. Then you have actual cab interior, okay, and then you have cab glass, and that's pretty slick. So you could come in and paint all this up if you chose to, put in a gear shift lever if you want. The mirrors come off fairly easy, and the glass comes out as well. So these mirrors come off, the exhaust comes off, and then you have actual headlights, and the grille comes out as well. I'm not sure if I can get that out. Maybe I can wiggle that out. All right, well, just know that that comes out too, and then these push out from the outside in. Okay? One thing you can do on here that I've not done it yet, but you can do it if you chose to. You could pull your exhaust off, and then there's going to be two holes where the mounting pins go, right? So if you wanted, you could come in here with some sort of Bondo paste or body filler and then make these two corners match and then put your exhaust on the back side if you chose to. I haven't done that yet because for the ones that I'm doing for myself, I don't care. All right? That's about as easy as I can say it. Okay, here's what I love about these, is right here. So you can come in here with the Dremel and cut right in here, or on the outside, cut this all the way around, cut this clear off, and make a flat top out of it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It is so simple. I love that about these, because then you get a whole new truck, and it wasn't very badly priced, and you made a new one out of it. Excuse me, my supper's coming up on me. Wow. So that is what I really like about these, and they look great. I mean, you paint these up and they look wonderful. I'm gonna buy these for $25 to $30 about anywhere online. You can buy them with a trailer or not, and then yeah, with a little effort, you're gonna have a great looking truck. And again, you're getting a little more detail, and you still didn't spend a lot of money on the truck. And it's going to look great. And you put $6, maybe $10 worth of wheels and tires on it, and it's going to look wonderful. I've done a couple of these now for myself, and I just dig the heck out of them. Gosh, what questions do you have on the PEM? Be thinking of those and start posting those questions on the PEM T600. You can also day cab this one, much like the Ertl. You're going to have this big old gap in here to fill up. So you would have to cut that off, cut the sleeper clear off, and then fill in the back with styrene. You could reuse the piece of die cast back here if you wanted to go that route. You have a lot of choices on what you could use. You could use brass plate or something like that to fill in if you made a day cab out of this truck. Okay? So there are several possibilities there. Bumper comes off as we were talking about earlier. And while you guys are thinking of your questions, I'm just going to play with this and see if I can get that to come right off. Well, not wanting to give. May have to go and drill out a little bit more to get that die cast here to come off. Okay, give you a few more seconds to post your questions on the PEM. Well, I'm not going to mess with it. I will make one more comment about the headlights. You can take your X-Acto knife, cut this plastic sprue off the back, and then they push right out. Make sure you don't lose those. Okay? Okay, since there's no questions on the PEM, we'll march forward on the gearbox. Now this is my favorite. Fella on a message board told me to use this when I was working on another project. I didn't know about these at the time, and boy howdy, it worked out great. Again, okay, so you're getting even a touch more detail than on the PEM. Here's the added detail you get. Like the PEM, you get headlights that come out. You get a grille that comes out, clear glass. You get air horns that come off, much like DCP. And then you get these clearance lights that also come out, and I'll show you how those come off. One exhaust, a little more paint and detail on the other side. Your steps are two separate pieces. And then you get some detail underneath with the engine, transmission. This one's missing a driveline, but that we know how to replace those, right? If you've watched that tutorial. Your mud flaps are both riveted on front and back, so if you want to reuse those, you got to do that. Again, you can successfully replace these tires with DCP which I do. So I'm reusing this frame. For what I'm given for these, it's just not worth the extra effort to put those on a die-cast Promotions frame. I'm just not seeing the value in it, personally. So yeah, that's that. Again, one thing it has in common with the PEM, you can see this is all hollow in here. So again, you can cut this off, sand it down, and you got a flat top in 10 minutes. It's great for that. Great for that. You can come back just like on the PEM and cut right back here and make a day cab out of it, but as I'll show you, you'll have a big hole to fill in. And then also, as on the PEM, one exhaust, so you can take this off and you'll have a couple holes to fill in, and then you can put your exhaust on the back, or you could even come in here on the side and put another exhaust if you wanted to. Put them both up front. Kind of your call there, personal preference. Okay. Unlike the PEM, you got actual screws. Look at that. I kind of dig those. So you're going to have two screws, one obviously where I'm right there, and then one up front. Ta-da! So look at that. That is kind of handy. I think someone's done some work to this poor guy. All right. Now, the thing that's different about this from the PEM is that you have a rivet holding in your interior. So you're going to have to drill that out or cut the plastic piece there, and then you can remove your interior. Okay? And boy, somebody put some aftermarket exhaust on that, I think. I'm going to just cut this because I can glue it back in and be quite happy. And then we'll get that interior out of there so you can see what's going on inside. And look at that, didn't even cut myself with my new blade. Maybe not. Alright, keep going here. Okay. Alright, now we've got to... Oh, broke my exhaust. Figures. There we go. Okay, so the exhaust comes out, or excuse me, interior, and again, it is pretty detailed. It's kind of nice in here. You can see it's got a sticker for the gauges and whatnot there. And then, mushed plastic here for these steps. Also, up here in front for the grille, the headlights, those all come out, mushed plastic. Just slide that off and then push them out. And then the interior, let's see if we can push this out quick too. The windshield is its own piece, which is kind of handy, so you're familiar with that. And then these top lights come out too, which is kind of nice. And it looks like those are, you'll have to take a small drill bit and drill that die cast out right there. But this does come off, and then of course your air horns come off as well. So you got a really nice little truck. These are getting harder to find, it seems. You can find them on eBay primarily. It seems like is where I'm getting them. Excuse me. So you can get them, but like I said, they're getting harder to find. You're paying $30 to $40 for them. A little more than the PEM. Slightly different than what you... I mean, they're both great cabs, but they're slightly different. So just depends on what you're looking for in a cab. But if you're looking for a T600, these two are my top choices, the GearBox being my favorite. And then I would go for a PEM second. But if you're starting out, the Ertl is the die-cast way to go because they're super duper duper cheap, and who cares if you ruin them. So those are your trucks. Those are your best T600 options at this moment, and Yeah, I think that's good. We got 5 minutes to go, guys. You'd be thinking of some questions here that you might want to ask, if it's related to the T600 or some other kind of brand of truck or something else, or you have a suggestion for another video. Now is your time to be tickety typing away on your phone or your keyboard, wherever you happen to be watching. Now is a good time to get those questions a-coming. Yeah, that's not coming out. You will need to be super careful because there's just a tiny little hole to guide a drill bit in. But boy, that is a pain. Okay, first question comes from Jason. What's the approximate retail cost on all three of those? Okay, I'm going off what I've paid for them on eBay. You'll find one of these in your kid's toy box or retail at any farm store in the world for about nothing, or a toy show for $6. I think Mark Vickers has some of these at Mark's Toy Box on eBay for $9.99. Ertls are cheap. Next, your PEM is going to be $25 to $30 depending on where you're shopping. eBay's probably where you're going to find these. I know I've paid $30 for them before. And then you got these that are anywhere from 30 to 45. I think I maybe gave a different price earlier, but 30 to 45 on these on eBay, just because they're getting harder to find. And some of them have trailers that guys like to collect, like Coca-Cola, Pennzoil, or other brands. People are collecting these, and that's what's driving that price too. So you have rarity, and collectors are looking for them. Can you get them in flat tops? Mike Tompkins, yes you can. And if you're going to make a flat top, you buy one of these two trucks, PEM or GearBox. And here's why. You take your bandsaw, your hacksaw, your Dremel, or some other cutting device, and you cut this windbreaker off here and there, and then you sand that top smooth, and you have a flat top. And that is so simple, Mike. Please do that, and then post your pictures here. Okay? Get those pictures out in the world and let us see how you did. Other questions. We got about 2 minutes left in the show. What other questions can I answer for you on the T600 comparison? All right. And what I'm doing is putting a screw away so I don't lose it. Got a few parts here that I don't want to really lose too bad. You know how that goes, right, guys? Okay. So there you go. Here is your parts for the T600 Showdown. And obviously the Ertl has the least amount of parts. The others, there's just more parts as you go with these. If you want full fender skirts, your PEM is a great one to go with, just because it's got full skirts. And they make super awesome two-tones. So you could leave these black or paint them a different, do like a gold and maroon combo. Too easy, guys, too easy. Okay, Mike asks, I have a T600 and my cab lights are on the visor. Which truck do I get? So I'm assuming, Mike, you have something that looks like this. This is not a problem. All you do is you take a paint pen and then you get a toothpick. So you, on a piece of paper, you squish out some paint on a piece of paper like this. Okay? And then you take a toothpick and you come in here and you just dab some paint inside those right here and you replace them. I have some photos I will post in the comments of T600s I've done in both brands, PEM and PEM, all three of them. I've got all three of them that I've made flat tops out of. And these two were far and away the easiest. This one, not so much. Okay, guys, we are at the end of our time. And so I'm going to begin closing this up. First and foremost, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the show and a part of Rockin' H. All of that we do here, without you, it wouldn't be any fun. So thank you for that. 2, if you would, show me some love, share this, and comment on it. Get this out to your friends, and especially people that are starting out. There's a lot of guys that just don't know what they're doing. They need you to help them and guide them along the way, all right? So help them, be a blessing to them, help them learn and gain skills, okay? That's what this is all about. 2, at the end of the show, if you want live notifications, click on the button that says live notifications, and you'll get live notifications every time I go on at Monday nights. So there you go. And what else? My gosh, it's Christmas around the corner. Hope you've been naughty. Hope you've been nice, and hope you get lots of good stuff in your stocking. So with that, I'm going to let you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Spread the love, and we'll see you next time. Bye.